Why did the court reporter ask me if I wanted to change my testimony about the orgy? The court reporter pulled me aside during recess, which should have been my first red flag. They're supposed to be invisible, just typing machines capturing every word, but Diane looked nervous, glancing around before whispering, "You sure you want that testimony about the orgy on the record?" I blinked. "What orgy?" Her face went pale. "The one you just described, in detail, for 20 minutes. I hadn't said anything about an orgy. I was testifying in a corporate fraud case about my former boss embezzling funds, spreadsheets and offshore accounts, not whatever she thought she heard. "Can I see the transcript?" I asked. She hesitated, then showed me her screen. My blood went cold. The testimony was mine, sort of. Same structure, same timeline, but every financial term had been replaced with something sexual. Quarterly reports became multiple partners. Fiscal responsibility turned into group activities. Offshore holdings was now hotel orgies. "This isn't what I said," I stammered. Diane bit her lip. "I know, it's the software. It's been doing this all week. Corporate installed this new voice-to-text program, some AI thing. It's been replacing random testimony with inappropriate content. You have to fix this. I've been trying, been typing the real testimony on my personal laptop, but officially," she gestured at her screen, "this is what gets filed." The judge called us back. I sat there sweating while the prosecutor continued questioning me, knowing that somewhere in the official record, I was apparently testifying about my boss's wild hotel parties instead of his financial crimes. During the next break, I confronted the prosecutor. "We have a problem." He laughed it off until Diane showed him the transcript. His face turned purple. "This is insane. The defense will have a field day." That's when we noticed the defense attorney grinning, tapping away on his phone. Too happy for someone whose client was getting destroyed, unless he knew about the transcript errors. Diane pulled me aside again. "I did some digging during lunch. That AI software, it was developed by a company the defendant owns through shell corporations. He's been planning this. He's sabotaging his own trial? Think about it. Every major witness testimony gets corrupted. Case gets thrown out. He walks free and sues for prosecutorial misconduct. Makes millions on top of what he already stole." I felt sick. My testimony was crucial. I was the whistleblower who discovered the embezzlement. Without me, the case fell apart. "What if we expose it right now?" I suggested. "With what proof?" "He'll claim it's a technical glitch. The software company is based overseas. By the time we trace it back to him, he's long gone." The prosecutor overheard us. "There has to be something we can do." Diane smiled then, a devious look I didn't expect from a court reporter. "Actually, there is. The software only corrupts testimony about financial crimes. Personal testimony stays clean. So change your testimony. Make it personal." When court resumed, the prosecutor asked me about discovering the fraud. Instead of discussing numbers, I talked about the people hurt. The single mom who lost her retirement, the janitor whose pension disappeared, the cancer patient whose medical fund was drained. The AI couldn't corrupt human suffering into anything inappropriate. It tried, glitching and stuttering, but emotions don't translate into orgies. Then I dropped the bomb. I also found evidence that the defendant created AI software specifically to corrupt court testimony. Here's the proof. The defense objected, but I'd already started listing the shell companies, the development contracts, the emails between him and the programmers. All personal observations, not financial testimony. The AI couldn't touch it. The defendant's face went white as I explained how he'd tested the software in 3 other trials, all resulting in mistrials. How he'd installed it in court systems across the state. How he'd planned to sell it to other criminals after walking free. The judge called for an immediate investigation. Court techs confirmed the software was installed, running, actively corrupting testimony. They found the backdoor, traced it to the defendant's personal server. Diane later showed me the real transcript she'd been keeping. Every word accurate, including my improvised testimony about the AI scheme. She'd been recording everything on her personal equipment, creating an untainted backup. "Why did you risk your job helping me?" I asked. She smiled. "My husband lost everything in a similar scheme 20 years ago. Different crook, same type of fraud. He killed himself. When I recognized the pattern in your testimony, even through the AI corruption, I knew I couldn't let another criminal walk." The defendant got 40 years. 20 for embezzlement, 20 for attempting to corrupt the justice system. The AI software was banned nationwide, its code destroyed. At the sentencing, the court reporter was someone new. I asked what happened to Diane. "Promoted," the prosecutor said. "She's heading the new transcript integrity division, making sure nothing like this ever happens again." As I left the courthouse, I got a text from an unknown number. "Thanks for trusting me. Justice tastes better than any orgy." I laughed, then deleted it.